we'll find a comfortable seat on the mat. Be sure to draw the navel in towards your spine and allow the crown of the head to reach towards the sky. Bring the shoulder blades together and down your back and place the hands on the thighs, palms down today. And go ahead and close your eyes. Start to become aware of your breath and allow that breath to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. With each inhale, allow your spine to grow tall. And then as you exhale, you'll keep the length in the spine, but just begin to allow your body to soften. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Let the jaw relax, knees gravitate towards the earth. The inhale and exhale are equal. As you sit and breathe, I'm going to read a poem from Dana Faulds. Just for now. Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you and the infinite expanse of the sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are. So fully alive that the world looks different, newly born and vibrant, just for now. I really love that poem from Dana Faulds because it reminds us that we really just need to focus on now, just this moment. I think a lot of times, even in our spiritual practice, we are looking so far ahead, waiting for this awakening. And even in our spiritual journey, we can forget that right now is where it is. And we may not have a moment that just knocks us off our feet, but we may catch little glimpses of an awakening. And if we're not present, we'll miss it. If we're so worried about, oh, I'm going to reach nirvana one day in life, if we're so focused on that, then we're missing these little glimpses that we might catch right now. So just think about that as we go through our practice today and see if you can remind yourself to be here in the practice instead of thinking about, oh, well, this practice might help me with that back pain that I sometimes get when I'm out in the garden. We're not in the garden right now. We're here in class. So see if you can keep your mind focused on your breath and on what you're doing in that moment. So physically, today's class is going to focus on the piriformis muscle. This is a muscle that is in the glutes, and it attaches at your sacrum, and then it goes through I guess you could call it a cavity, and attaches to the greater trochanter, which is the top of the femur. The reason I wanted to focus on this muscle is that in some people, the piriformis can get inflamed and tight and short. And for some people, that sciatic nerve can actually run through the piriformis. So the piriformis can be a cause of some sciatica. Sciatica being an irritation of that sciatic nerve, and you'll sometimes feel that in the low back, the glutes, and then going down the leg. So if you don't have sciatic issues, that's awesome, and you'll enjoy this class just as much because we're going to get some really nice stretches in the glutes. So let's bring our hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. The thumbs just gently press against the chest, elbows relax. We'll breathe together 3 times, and on the 3rd exhale, we'll share the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale and exhale. And for the 3rd time together, inhale. Om. Bow your head. Place the hands on the thighs, softly open the eyes, looking forward. So go ahead and lay down on your back. I forgot to get us live on Facebook. So while you are laying down on your back, moving your props out of the way, I'm just going to start to stream this on Facebook for our friends there. So once you come to lay on your back, go ahead and bend those knees, and then let the soles of the feet come together as the knees open up out to the sides. Place the left hand on the belly and the right hand on the chest. As you inhale, feel the belly rise, followed by the chest. And as you exhale, feel the chest fall, followed by the belly. So you're moving with your breath here at your own pace. Inhale, belly rises, followed by the chest. Exhale, chest falls, followed by the belly. All right, we are up on Facebook now. Sorry about that. It's always something, you know? Okay. Inhale, belly rises, followed by the chest. Exhale, chest falls, followed by the belly. Now you can keep your hands where they are or bring your arms by your sides, and we're going to move dynamically with Baddha Konasana 3 times. So on your first inhale, start to draw the knees up 1/3 of the way. Pause here as you exhale. On your next inhale, the knees come up another 1/3. Pause here, exhale. On the 3rd inhale, knees come up all of the way. And on the 3rd exhale, soles of the feet come together, knees open up out to the sides. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, number 1, knees come up 1/3 of the way. Pause, exhale. Inhale, number 2, knees come up another 1/3. Pause here, exhale. Inhale, number 3, knees come up all of the way. Exhale, number 3, soles of the feet come together, knees open up out to the sides. One more time on your own. When you finish, go ahead and bend the knees, soles of the feet on the ground. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and then take the hands around your left thigh, drawing the legs into the chest. So you'll already feel a really nice stretch in that right glute, right hip. And here, I just want you to gently rock side to side. Become still. Lower the left foot, followed by the right. Cross that left ankle over the right thigh. Hands go around the right thigh. Draw the legs into the chest and just rock side to side here. Become still. Lower the right foot, followed by the left, and then draw those knees into the chest for Apanasana. Go ahead and lower your left foot. You can place the foot on the mat or have the leg extended out nice and long. And then you're going to take the hands between the back of the right thigh and the calf. So hug that thigh into the chest. And then as you inhale, begin to straighten that right leg as much as you can. You can see mine still has quite a bend in it. And then as you exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, begin to straighten the leg as much as you can. Exhale, bend the knee. One more time. Lower the right foot. Draw the left knee in. Place the hands between the back of the left thigh and the calf. Hug the thigh to the chest, and as you inhale, leg straightens as much as you can. Exhale, knee bends. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. So you may have heard me talking about a new hamstring stretch that I learned that changed my life. This is it. This has just, I only learned this, you can go ahead and place that left foot on the ground. I learned this just a couple weeks ago, and it's just made the biggest difference for me. All right, so hug those knees in, place the right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. As you inhale, knees pull away from the chest as those arms straighten. And as you exhale, pull the knees in. Inhale, knees pull away from the chest. Exhale, knees draw in. One more time, and then we'll hug the knees in. Begin to rock head to tail, bringing yourself up to seated, or you can just use your arms and bring yourself back up that way. So we're going to sit in Baddha Konasana. So we bend the knees, feet on the ground, soles of the feet come together as the knees open up out to the sides. So for some of us, if you have tight hips, your knees may be way up in the air. Just see if you can relax the legs, relax the glutes and the hips. If you find this to be very uncomfortable, you can always put a block under each leg to give you a little support. So you're going to keep your right leg where it is. But then I want you to come up onto the sole of the left foot And you're going to let that left knee fall in and then bring the left foot back by your left hip. So I hope that makes sense for you. So the right shin is more parallel to the top of the mat, and that left leg is going behind you. Place your hands on the mat in front of you. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to walk the hands forward as you're hinging from your hips. Breathe here. Slowly bring yourself back up. Take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and take that right thigh behind the right hip. Root down through your foundation. Inhale, grow tall, and as you exhale, begin to twist to the right. Root down. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, slowly bring yourself back to center. So we're going to bring this left leg forward back to Baddha Konasana. And then we'll place the sole of the right foot on the ground and bring that right foot behind the right hip. So the left shin is somewhat parallel to the top of the mat, and that right foot is going behind you. Place your hands on the floor in front of your left shin and start to hinge from those hips, folding forward, just going as far as is comfortable for you. Remember to breathe. If you're thinking about something else that's going on later today, bring yourself back to this moment. Start to walk your hands back up towards your body. Place the right hand to the outside of the left thigh, and then take that left hand behind the left hip. Make sure that spine is nice and tall. Root down through the foundation. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, twist to your left. Press down through those sit bones. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, slowly come back to center, and we'll come back to Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Hold on to those ankles. Root down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, begin to hinge from the hips, folding forward. Slowly bring yourself back up, and we're going to come to sit in Sukhasana, easy pose, simple cross-legged posture. Be sure to adjust the sit bones as needed. On the inhale, arms sweep up. As you exhale, begin to hinge from those hips, folding forward. So we're not bending the back. When you feel like the back wants to start rounding, just bring your hands down to the ground. Then, with the inhale, lengthen, and with the exhale, maybe you can fold a little further. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. So here, it's important that you're hinging from the hips and not really rounding the low back. Sometimes these seated forward bends take us and our low back beyond its normal range of motion. So just be mindful of that. Listen to your body. Start to walk those hands back towards the body, and we'll switch the cross of the legs. Be sure to adjust those sit bones as needed. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward, bringing the hands down when needed. Then with the inhale, we lengthen. With the exhale, maybe you can fold a little further. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Start to walk those hands back towards your body, and we'll come to all fours, hands and knees. So remember that when you're on all fours, the knees are just hip width apart. The knees are slightly behind the hips. Hands are shoulder width apart, and they are slightly forward of the shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide and press down through the fingers in the perimeter of the palms. Tops of the feet are flat on the floor. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs, coming to extended child's pose. As you inhale, bring yourself up, all fours. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale up, all fours. So the next time you come up, pause there and take the knees out wide. Then shift back to a wide-legged child's pose and rest. So you can lower the forearms, you could bring the arms back by your legs, whatever feels restful to you. Watch the breath here and come back to the present moment if it's gotten away from you. Come up onto those forearms, and we're going to come up to standing. So we'll come up to stand, and we'll stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. When we stand in Tadasana, our feet are just femur width apart. They're parallel to each other. Hips are stacked on knees, knees stacked on ankles, and that pelvis is in neutral. So we're drawing the pelvic floor up and the navel in. Shoulder blades together and down the back. Let's bring the hands together at the heart. And I want you to find your drishti, a gazing point, something not moving. Begin to shift the weight over to that right foot. And just lift the left foot up off of the mat. So we're just going to balance on one foot, watching the breath flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Go ahead and lower that left foot. Shake the legs out a little bit, and we will shift our weight over now to the left foot. Keep the knees soft here. Find that drishti, that gazing point. Lift the right foot and breathe. Nice. Lower that right foot. Shake those legs out. And we'll come to a wide-legged stance. Make sure the outer edges of the feet are parallel to the outer edges of your mat. Pelvic floor draws up, navel in, crown of the head reaches tall. As you inhale, arms sweep up. And as you exhale, hinge from those hips, folding forward. You can bring the hands to the ground. You can bend your knees here if you'd like. Relax the head and neck. Bring your hands to your hips. Press down through the feet to come up, and then we'll bring our feet back to Tadasana. As you inhale, arms sweep up. Grasp your right wrist with the left hand. Inhale, grow tall, and then as you exhale, begin to tip to the left. Slowly bring yourself back up, switch your grasp. Press down through the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tip to your right. Inhale, back up. Lower the arms. Inhale, arms sweep up. Grasp the left wrist with the right hand. Left palm looks to the sky. Press down through the feet. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, begin to tip to the right as that right foot comes up off of the ground. So you're making a crescent shape. A modification could be to leave that big toe on the ground. Keep your eyes focused on that drishti and watch the breath flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Slowly lower that right foot. Switch the grasp. Root down through the feet. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, tip to your left as the left foot comes up. Breathe here. So the drishti could be on the floor, it could be on the horizon, it could be anywhere. Just somewhere to soften your gaze. Lower the left foot. Hands come together at the heart. We're going to move right into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Hands come together at the heart. Knees are soft. We don't want to lock the knees. Begin to shift your weight to that right foot and allow your whole body to just sink into that right foot, allowing the weight of the body to sink into the right foot. Imagine growing deep roots into the earth. The left foot becomes light. You can press that foot against your ankle, your calf, or your upper inner thigh. We just don't want to press the foot against the knee. So here, you're pressing your foot into your leg. You're pressing your leg into your foot. Pelvic floor draws up. Navel draws in. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. If you feel stable, arms reach up. Tree branches grow. Remember to breathe. Be in this moment. Bring the hands back together, down in front of your heart. You can lower your left foot, shake the legs out a little bit, and then we'll do the other side. So standing in Tadasana with soft knees, we shift the weight over to that left foot. The right foot becomes light. You can press it against your ankle, calf, or upper inner thigh. Just remember to skip the knee. So we're pushing that foot into the leg, pushing the leg into the foot. Find your drishti, watch your breath. If you feel stable here, arms sweep up, and those tree branches grow. Bring the hands back together, down in front of your heart. Lower that right foot. So here, keep the hands at the heart and just close your eyes and watch your breath. Go ahead and open your eyes, and we're going to come to lay down on our backs. So it's not lost on me that I kind of look like a priest today. This shirt just, I don't think it quite works with the microphone. I feel like I need to sometimes cover the microphone with like black tape or something. So go ahead and lay on your back, hugging those knees into the chest. You can rock side to side here, giving yourself a little back massage. And then become still. As you inhale, knees pull away from the chest as the arms straighten. And then as you exhale, draw the knees in. Inhale, knees pull away from the chest. Exhale, draw those knees in. Become still and lower the soles of the feet to the mat. Here, you're going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh, and once again, take the hands around the left thigh as you draw the knees in. If you're looking for something a little deeper, you can gently nudge that right knee away with the elbow. Keeping that right ankle over the left thigh, lower your left foot to the mat and bring your arms by your sides, the palms face the floor. Draw the pelvic floor up and the navel in. Engage the left glute, press down through the left foot and lift those hips. As you exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Pause here. Bring your arms out like a T, palms face the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to tip the legs over to the left as you roll to the pinky toe side of that left foot. Inhale, bring yourself up. And as you exhale, begin to tip the legs over to the right as you roll to the big toe side of that left foot. Inhale back up, and then you'll continue moving with the breath, rolling from one side of the foot to the other. The next time the sole of the left foot is flat on the mat, pause there. Lower the right foot. Make any adjustments to the foundation that you need to, and then you'll cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Take those hands around the right thigh. Draw the legs in. Keeping that left ankle over the right thigh. Lower the right foot to the mat. Arms come by your sides, palms face the floor. Pelvic floor draws up, navel draws in. Engage that right glute, lift those hips. As you exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Once you lower, keep that left foot where it is. Arms come out like a T, palms face the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, tip the legs over to the right as you roll to the pinky toe side of that right foot. Inhale, come back up, and as you exhale, tip the legs over to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, tip. Continue moving with the breath here. The next time the sole of the right foot is flat on the mat, pause there. Lower your left foot. Hug those knees into the chest. Once again, lower the soles of the feet to the mat. So we're going to do another variation of bridge pose. Bring the arms by your sides, palms face the floor. Pelvic floor draws up. Navel draws in. Engage both glutes. Press down through the feet. Lift the hips. So here you're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Lower the right foot. Draw the left knee in. Lower. 2 more on each side. Moving with your breath at your own pace here. When you finish, you can lower the hips to the mat and hug those knees into the chest. Rock side to side here. Next, we're going to roll over onto our left side. So you'll lay on the left side. You can rest your head in your left hand and stack those feet. We're going to be doing some leg lifts, side leg lifts. What I want you to do is lift the top leg up and back and then lower. So it's not straight up and down. We're going up and back. And you'll start to feel that kind of in the side of your glute. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Three more. Squeeze that right glute as you lift. Good. Next, we'll roll over onto the right side. place your head in your right hand. Extend the legs long, stacking those feet. As you inhale, the left leg lifts up and back as you squeeze the left glute. Exhale, lower. Five more. When you finish, you can roll over onto your back and hug the knees into the chest. Place the soles of the feet on the floor and then extend the legs out nice and long. We're going to do leg lifts, but we're going to do them a little differently today. We're going to create an external rotation in our legs before we lift. If you have any low back pain, you can always bend the knee of the leg you're not working on at that time. For some people, laying flat on the back is painful, so you could always just bend one knee. So we're going to start with that right leg. So to create an external rotation, you're going to turn the whole leg out to the right. So the toes are pointing out to the right, but you're turning that femur in the hip socket, not just the foot. Then, as you inhale, lift that leg. Exhale, lower until the foot almost touches the floor. Lift and lower. Continue on your own. See if you can do 10 on that right leg. When you finish with your 10, you can lower that right leg. Feel free to bend the knee if you'd like, and then we'll move to the left leg. So you'll turn the whole leg in the femur socket, or I'm sorry, in the hip socket, so that those toes point out to the left. And then reaching through that heel, you're lifting and lowering until you almost touch the floor. Lift. You may also hear this external rotation sometime as outer spiral, some people call it. And again, we're going for 10 on this left leg. When you finish, you'll bring the leg back to neutral, and you can hug both knees into the chest, coming to Apanasana, and feel free to rock side to side here. Give your back a little massage. Go ahead and place the soles of the feet on the mat. Let the soles of the feet come together as the knees open up out to the sides. So we come back to Supta Baddha Konasana, our supine bound angle pose. This time, I want you to take your 2 index fingers and link them together, and then bring those arms up overhead so that they make a circle around the head. And just breathe here. Inhale and exhale are equal. We're going to begin to transition into Shavasana. If there's anything that you need to be comfortable, like socks or a blanket, drink of water, please feel free to get that. And then once you have what you need, you'll just come to lay on your back with those legs extended out nice and long. Allow the feet to just flop open here. Arms are by your sides, palms face the sky, and the arms are a few inches away from the body. Relax the jaw by creating a space between the top and bottom rows of teeth, and let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Let your eyes rest in their sockets. Resist the urge to make subtle movements. Rest in Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen the breath, becoming aware of the room once again and becoming aware of the body. Start to make subtle movements that feel good, like wiggling those fingers and toes. You can turn the head gently from side to side. Stretch through the arms and the legs like you're just waking up, and then roll to the right side in the fetal position, and we'll stay there for a few breaths. Keeping the eyes closed if you'd like. Use the arms to bring yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. And once you get there, you can bring your hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, working on stretching that piriformis muscle, helping to keep it nice and long and not inflamed so that we can be more pain-free. As you go through your week, I just want you to see if you can try to be present more often. It's definitely a practice, and so often we can be so concerned about way off into the future that we forget about this moment right now. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you have ease and well-being. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me today.